Most people assume a jealous person celebrates when you stop competing. They think the person who resented your wins will finally settle down. They believe the friction ends the moment you drop out of the race. Here is what actually happens. A jealous person needed the race to keep score against you. You did not stop rising. You stopped playing their game. That single decision breaks the scoreboard they were quietly keeping on you. Take the race away and they will do 5 things in 7 days. The 5th one is the move nobody catches. Until it is already over, the first thing they do is go silent. The group chat that used to react to your good news dies. A when you post sits there with nothing underneath it. The phone does not ring the way it used to. Your calls now go to voicemail with nothing returned. Texts that once got an instant reply now get delivered and dropped. This is not awkwardness. This is an audit. They are recalculating what your calm has cost them this week. For years, they treated every one of your wins as a point against them. Your better job was a score they had to answer for. Your calmer home life quietly became another score. Your new confidence turned into a score they could not ignore. Every time you rose, they had somewhere to aim their resentment. In person, they watch you from across the room without speaking. A dinner passes where your good news gets one flat sentence. Another guest asks how the new project is going. They jump in and change the subject before you can answer. They used to need your updates to feel like they were keeping up. Now there was nothing left for them to point at. So they quietly rebuild a story about you while they sit and watch. The silence is designed to make you chase them. It is a trap built from your old need to explain yourself. Do not help them by filling that silence. The silence is the very first test you will walk into this week. They want you to volunteer an explanation for your absence. They want you to announce you are done so they can argue with it. They want you to ask if something is wrong. Give them none of it. Say this line and nothing else. Interesting. Then stop talking. You hand them back the silence while they try to do the math. Let them sit in the quiet they manufactured for you. The silence was supposed to make you small and apologetic. Your ease inside it is the last thing they expected. The first move is handled now. The second one arrives around the middle of the week. The second thing they do is throw bait. The quiet turns into small hooks meant to pull you back in. They mention an achievement of theirs with a strange edge on it. They float a comparison that nobody in the room asked for. They ask how things are going and then wait for you to prove something. Face to face, the congratulation lands half a beat too late. The smile arrives after the words instead of with them. They start a conversation about who is winning lately. They forward you a story about someone else's success. Then wait. They say they miss how close you used to be, right after your latest win. People keep asking how you are really doing. Every one of those hooks carries the exact same catch. The bait works because it mimics care. It is not care. It is a fishing line dressed as affection. They are trying to drag you back onto the track. They need a reaction to prove you still care about beating them. Your rise has become a mirror they cannot look away from. The bait only works if you reach for the comparison. Without your reaction, they have to sit with their own emptiness. Meet the bait with a closed door and a flat tone. I'm not competing with you. Say it once and then stop talking. Do not soften it. Do not add a joke after it. Let the sentence stand there on its own. Watch their face change as the game dies. That line removes the contest they were trying to restart. It also tells you what the relationship was running on the whole time. If the bait does not land, they will change the story next. The third thing they do is rewrite you. By the weekend, you become a story you no longer recognize. The job they once envied turns into proof you lost yourself. The calm you earned becomes evidence that you have turned bitter. The boundary you set becomes a story about you shutting everyone out. They frame your quiet as losing, not as choosing. They tell mutual people that you quietly gave up. They tell them you now think you are better than everyone else. They tell them your success went to your head. A friend repeats the story back at you like it is news. The story reaches a group you have not seen in months. They watch your face to see if you will defend yourself. The rewrite is not meant for you. It is meant for the audience who has agreed with them before. The rewrite works because it explains your rise in a way they can survive. If you succeeded alone, they have to face that it was never a competition. Envy needs a better explanation than their own fear. A jealous person cannot hold the story up alone. They need witnesses to make their version of you feel real. That is why the rewrite travels so fast this week. Do not chase every retelling of it. Do not send paragraphs defending a rumor you never started. That is energy spent on people who already chose their side. Correct it once in front of the person who actually matters. That's not what happened. Then let the room sit with the correction. A jealous person crumbles when the calm correction finally lands. They built the story on the hope that you would react. Your steady denial empties it in front of everyone. One caution before the final two moves: not every cold reaction is envy. Some people are simply busy or bad at showing warmth. A quiet friend may just be tired, not resentful. The difference is a pattern, not one single moment. Watch what repeats across the 7 days and you will know. But the last two moves only ever mean one thing. Quick question: what role does the jealous one play in your life now? Friend, sibling, colleague, or partner? The role will not change what happens next. Now back to the move that costs people the most. The fourth thing they do is a quiet exclusion. Late in the week, the words finally turn into small, real moves. An invitation that never arrives. A plan you only ever hear about secondhand. A decision made in a room you were not invited into. A group photo taken after you had already left. The dinner invite quietly moves to a day they know you work. A meeting happens while your name is taken off the thread. The gap is small enough to be denied and large enough to be felt. None of it is big. That is the whole point. A small move is easy to deny. It is also easy for them to pretend it was an accident. They are testing whether you will push back in. They want proof that leaving you out still gets a rise from you. They want you to ask why you were not included. Do not give them the rise. Not this time. If the move arrives disguised as a joke, explain the joke. Say each line once and stop. Do not raise your voice. Do not ask a second time. Let the calm of the line do the work for you. A calm person inside a quiet exclusion is their worst outcome. It leaves the exclusion hanging on them instead of on you. That is far heavier than any anger they could have drawn from you. But the fifth move is the one they make in front of everyone. The fifth thing they do is turn strangely warm. By the end of the week, the cold becomes ceremony. They congratulate you out of nowhere. A big message posted in front of a crowd. A toast to your success that sounds more like a eulogy. A sudden kindness that has no history behind it. They introduce you as someone who has made it, with a strange smile. They heap praise on you in a way that makes the room go quiet. The message reads warm to everyone but stays empty to you. This is not a truce. This is them leaving the field and pretending it was their choice. They would rather perform affection than admit that you scared them. The warmth is a costume they put on for the people watching. They need the witnesses to see them as gracious in defeat. Accept it without folding into it. Do not meet their performance with a performance of your own. You can think that. Then stop talking. Stay the same person you were before the week began. Your boredom with their theater is the message they cannot ignore. Now decode the language that runs under the whole week. When they say you've changed, they mean you stopped giving me reactions. When they say I'm just being honest, they mean I need your failure to feel like success. When they say you think you're better than everyone, they mean your rise makes me feel small. When they say I was only trying to help, they mean I wanted you in second place. When they say you're not the same person, they mean you don't react to me anymore. When they say I'm happy for you, really, they mean say you are happy for me too, and make it convincing. Hold those lines and the gelate persuadable car. Each branch is a different face of the same fear. They escalate. The bait gets louder and the jabs stop hiding. A rumor appears with your name attached to it. Someone tells you what they said within the hour. That tells you they are desperate because your calm is the last thing left to break. To the escalation, say it is handled. Or they recruit allies. They carry their version of you to everyone who will listen. They build a small court of people who agree they were wronged. That tells you the story cannot stand without an audience. To the gossip, say I'm not discussing gossip. Or they go cold. They disappear and the circle quietly ends. That tells you the connection was the rivalry, never you. Let it end. You did not lose a friend this week. You lost a scorekeeper. One mechanism sits underneath all 5 moves. Envy needs a scoreboard. The jealous person never actually wanted to beat you. They wanted a race you would agree to stay in forever. Every one of your wins existed so they could resent the distance. Your rise without their scoreboard is the thing they cannot survive. The moment they stop measuring, they have to feel what they feel. Remove the scoreboard and envy has nowhere to hide. That is the real reason the entire week feels so loud. Every move this week was a door trying to lead you back into that race. Shut the door and watch them search for another way in. None of them will be honest about it. They will call it concern, honesty, or love. But every version of it is a request to start running again. Now choose one move from this week. Pick the single bait they threw at you. Answer it once with one of these lines, then stop talking. One line, one time, done this week. That is the entire assignment. Do not fight the whole week at once. Close one door and let the rest hold itself. A single calm answer is louder than every argument you are about to lose. If this sharpened how you read the room, subscribe. A new script lands here every week. You did not leave the race to win. You left it because you were never in it.